All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwati, and children that believe sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Um, Man, everything's happening so fast right now, man. Can't even keep up with it. Uh, Now, damn, that's deep. Matter of fact, let me start off with a scripture. We start off with a scripture that's on my spirit. Um, there we go. I'm gonna start off with this one, man, because this thing is moving fast, man, towards World War III. It's basically started. Um, Let me see. Mm, There you go. This is Revelations 12 and 12. Cut this music off in the background. All right, Revelations 12 and 12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth." All right, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, man, because this about to be there's about to be a world economic crash, and then going to turn into World War III, um, because the least of them has drawn the major nuclear power out into this war, which is the U.S. And we know, going back to the Albert Pike plan, that this was a plan of the higher ups to bring about World War III, which they believe they're bringing back their version of the Messiah, which is an Edomite. Just like on the opposite side, you have Iran thinking they're bringing their Messiah back, which is which they believe is an Elamite called the Mahdi. But they're both going to find out that they're completely wrong. All right, far beyond what they look for. Yahweh Shai is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, and that's who's returning, a mighty angel. All right, it's called, what do you say? What do you say? Your mouth gonna cash a check that your ass can't handle. That's what they're gonna do. And it says, and ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, man. There's gonna be a world war, world economic suffering. That's what's about to happen first. Even today, March 4th, 2026, you should see gas prices rising because they're choking the Strait of Hormuz. All right, so there's so much to talk about. So let's get into it. It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea," right? Because this war is out in the sea as well, as we can as we're perceiving today. Aircraft carriers, drone strikes. Um, for the devil, we know who that is, Esau, big Satan, little Satan, is come down unto you, having great wrath. That's what Trump's doing, bringing great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right, you see that? And so now, um, and what did the Lord say? We get one more. There you go. This is Matthew's, I think 24. Let me get Matthew's 24, 22. Matthew's 24 and 22. And it says, and except those days should be shortened. See, the Lord is speeding up time. That's why everything's moving fast. All right. Except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. See, that's so the Lord, what what these people are bringing on the earth upon themselves is called suicide. When their back is against the wall, they're gonna bring the whole house down on everybody. And plus, they have that satanic mindset. All right, and so let's get into this video, man, and let's see what spirit leads me. This guy here, his name is Professor Jang, and he don't do predictions. He's just common sense type of individual. Maybe he's a Jake, maybe not, but I know he's from China, and he one of those people from over there that's, it's mainly here in America where everybody deceived, don't know what the hell going on. All right, so matter of fact, look at that. And there go my neighbors right on time, but it's all good. Second Ezra 16 to 21. Behold, victuals, so food and raiment shall be mainly food, shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. When people got food and water and they can go shop, you know, they think they're kind of everything's safe. Military doing what it's supposed to do, the government doing what it's supposed to do, we good. So if people think themselves to be in good case, man, I was watching something with this dude, his name David Banner, the rapper, and it was at this Grammy Award show, and it looks so fake, man. How you doing? How you doing? You just look so good today. It's all that old Sambo mindset, you know, that they had all up until the uh, late '80s. That glamour and glitz. But at the same time, it says this, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth. Sword, which is World War III or Armageddon, famine. See, once they close the Strait of Hormuz, is going to lead to famine first over there in what's called the Middle East with U.S. allies. The choke point will be the Strait of Hormuz, cutting off their food supply, cutting off oil to the Asian countries, um, cutting off resources to Europe. Everything flows through that Strait of Hormuz, and also cutting off possibly some resources to Iran. So famine, all right, because oil goes out, food comes in through the Strait of Hormuz. But once it's shut down, it's going to cause famine, and the U.S. dollar is tied to the petro oil. It's called the petrodollar. So once those GCC or um, countries that deal with the oil over there, the oil bases, and once the oil stops flowing through there, it's an immediate collapse. They fall at the same time. So um, if the GCC countries fall or that area falls, immediately the U.S. economy will crash at the same time because it's tied to the oil. Where there's no oil, there's no dollar. All right. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, because that's what this place is, Babylon, and they're pushing that confusion all around the world. Okay, so yeah, it's moving fast. So let's listen to this, and let's get some scriptures. The title of this video is Babylon or U.S. will lose this Iranian war, and a lot of people know it. You can see the fear. Look at it. That's fear right there, even though she ain't showing it. They know they're gonna lose now.
To me like there's some pieces that don't totally add up. You had, in advance of this war on Iran, you had top military brass up to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying, this is a really bad idea. We are not ready for this. All the math on the interceptors that's been talked about for months at this point. And yet Trump still decided to go ahead.
Right. So with all of that, they still decided to go ahead and attack these nations.
What is the calculus
They
that
decided to go attack Iran.
he was making here that led him to take what already appears to be catastrophic actions?
Right. Okay. So this is the key question. Why do they do this? I think there are three possibilities. Okay. And I think all three possibilities are valid. The first is the idea of hubris. You look at,
Mind you, he said all three possibilities are valid, not just one of them. All three of these are happening simultaneously at this moment, and we're witnessing it. And he said the first one would be hubris. All right, before he even finishes, let's see what hubris means. All right, hubris. It means excessive pride or self confidence. So the first reason Trump or Nero would do this is because of conceit or haughtiness or what you would call self confidence or pride. What type of pride? Because the actions in Venezuela, not was that Venezuela with Maduro? When they took him, it seemed so easy, and they was so proud of the military and this and that, and they went in there, took him out with no problem. So he's like, all right, shoot, let me get another country, and they go at Iran. See that false sense of pride, right? So now let's go back and see what he's talking about.
history, this is how empires behave. So the Maduro kidnapping was quick, successful, and it was adrenaline rush for Trump. And that made him overconfident in the capacity of the American military. Okay, so hubris is a factor, and we see this throughout history. Why did Hitler invade Stalin? Because he conquered Europe really easily, and he thought it was invincible, right? And that led to the destruction of the German army.
See, and that's in the scriptures as well. Let's get that real quick. They called him Apollyon, who was also known as Kaiser Wilhelm and Hitler. All right, Hitler took over. He was one of the soldiers that took over after World War One with Kaiser Wilhelm, which started World War One and then leading to World War Two. All right, where they lost the war. It caused Germany to fall. So let's get that real quick because of their pride. This is Revelations 9:1, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. All right, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And this star that fell is Germany, right? The leader of Germany, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke. All right, so the angels are controlling this. You got to put that out there initially. There arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. So the battles began to change. They started going, dropping bombs and missiles. All right, during World War One, and started building up what you call the aircraft carriers, submarines. All right, going into World War Two, this was like the development of what the Lord calls a snare. Those missiles. It was a buildup for World War Three, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them were given power as the scorpions of the earth have power, right? Power in their tail. Right? It's just shooting the guns off the back of the planes, the gunners, and out the sides of the plane. you know, and it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of Yahweh in their forehead. Right, and that's why we're here today, because our foreparents made it through World War I and World War II. That was the Lord protecting that bloodline through that promise for us to be here today. All right. Um, Now it says, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. This was, the World War World War I going into World War II. I think World War I lasted from 1914 to 1918. 4 years. And it says here, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them, because they had no what's it called, um, medicine, no anesthesia, I think they called it, to numb the pain. So they was wanting to leave the earth, and they couldn't. The Lord was keeping them there, all right, from the pain, because this was a different type of war. Limbs was being blown off, and the shape of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, dog fighters, right? And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold. We know, like the Italian art, the Italian band. What was it Serbia? I think it was. It's been a while since I went over this, but a lot of them were wearing tassels on their hats. It looked like women. Um, Now let's get to the point. And they had on their heads like crowns of gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. The dog fighters, they had men seated on the top of the planes, and the front looked like lion teeth that they painted on there, and they had the gunners in the front, gunners in the back, and then they started dropping missiles from the actual planes. All right, so let's get to the point. Verse 11, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit. So this was talking about from the beginning. This guy, Kaiser Wilhelm, which led up to Hitler in the fall of Germany at that time, and against the allies of Russia, Britain, the U.S. All right, they were all confederate together at once, but the Lord broke up their um, allegiance, and now they're all against the U.S. That shows that the Most High He rules in the kingdom of men. All right, they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is in Hebrew tongue Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. One woe is past. This was World War I. And behold, there come two more woes hereafter. So it's basically it's telling you that this angel, who was a messenger of death, known as Kaiser Wilhelm, and um, what's his name? Uh, Hitler. They caused the downfall of Germany at that time. All right. Now, through their pride. So the same thing is happening over again with the U.S. and their angels. It says that in Revelations 12 that their angels going to fight against the Lord. All right. So that, you know, so this is no new thing under the sun. Here you go. Sirach 10 and 18. Pride was not made for man, nor furious anger for them that are born of woman. And through his pride, Nero, over here in Babylon, through their pride, they coming down with great wrath, which goes into their anger, and none of that is going to lead them to their own destruction. All right. So let's listen in again. So he said through their pride. Matter of fact, let's get one more. See, see, because what they did with the apple of the Lord's eye, it was all about boosting their pride, man. Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? See, taunting the Lord, and now it's coming out that they saying that Trump was chosen so that he can bring about Armageddon and bring the Lord's return, which they have a false image of the Messiah in their mind. They think he's a Edomite. The Lord has them in delusion. All right. I want to go here, Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, and we in that time. And this is it. This is Armageddon. This is going to lead up to World War III, especially since they're taking control of the Strait of Hormuz. All right. That's the choke point that's going to lead to World War III. All right. And what can cause it to go nuclear is is Netanyahu, the Israelis um, going nuclear. Once their back is against the wall. All right. So it says here, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Right. Nobody knows the time but the Most High, man. Right. The day or the hour. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. So now we're at the end, and now people starting to see it. That what we were saying is true. What the scripture said and what the Most High spoke from the beginning is true. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So now it's here. It's moving fast, just like a baby. It takes 9 months, that long period. But then once the contractions hit, everything start moving faster, and the contractions get faster and faster. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. See, he lifted up for the wrong reasons. You know, narrow, um, robbing, stealing, and unaliving people, taking over nations. It boosted their pride. But the just shall live by faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, because they get rich through deceit. Their wealth is deceitful. That's that wine. That's the what they call bringing you democracy. They, you know, they became proud. He is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. Now they over there in the Middle East, all in other people's business. Starting wars, which is gonna have a blowback, as you can see on the screen, and it's gonna um, cause these nations to come up to the shores of the U.S. and the U.S. will lose this war against Iran. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. And we know in the book of Joel it says they're going to have their hinder part towards the utmost sea, and the front part towards uh, the other sea, and basically their direction is towards Iran. Right? They're going to send far off the northern army, who enlargeth his desire as hell, man. So they're bringing hell on earth. This is going to open the gates of hell on earth, man. All right. So their desire is what they saying, bringing peace over there, but they bringing nothing but hell. That's Revelation 6, the pale rider, the pale horse, and is as death. and cannot be satisfied, man. Just greedy. But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these nations, right, take up a parable against him? So they were conquered. Now they're going to aim to conquer the conqueror, the conquering nation, U.S. And a taunting proverb against him, and say, "Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his." Basically, robbing from the whole earth. How they, how long they going to increase like that? That's what you see. Russia and them saying, China, Iran, um, what is it? Woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, with all this, with debt. So all they got to do is just like an old man, just sweep the cane from under his hand, and he gonna fall. So while he trying to fight, they just kick you in your bad leg, and you're gonna drop. I know that leg is wooden. You deceiving everybody, and they're gonna bring the economy down, man. All right. Shall these not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? Meaning put this place in debt. You know, cause the economy to crash. Right. How long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. All right, thou gonna you this place is gonna be conquered now. See that? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood, they assassinating people over there, and for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein. Sheesh. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. That's what the president has done, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Man, it's so clear. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy own self, man.
in the Soviet Union. So hubris is a factor. Then you have to look
Hubris is a factor. The pride, their pride, man, is not through righteousness. It's through covetousness.
at internal political calculus, where even though America does not benefit from this war against Iran, Trump himself personally benefits. Why? Because the Saudis and Israelis are bribing him to attack Iran. Remember that the Saudis invested $2 billion in the private equity fund of Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law of Donald Trump. And the Israelis, through Miriam Adelson, have been financing Trump's political career, right? So Miriam Adelson, a few months back, said that she will put up $250 million if Trump were to run a third term. So Trump is getting a lot of financial and political support from the Saudis and Israelis. Also, remember that.
Right. So, and the funny thing is, in fact, what's that? The funny thing is, this is scripture. I'm going to go into it as well. The Saudi Arabians being caught in the middle because they're backing and allowing the U.S. and Israel to occupy their bases, their land, and um, causing them to be attacked. But at the same time, they're being attacked allegedly by Israel. So they're getting attacked on both fronts by Iran, and they get Saudi Arabia's um, could be attacked by the powers that they're helping, which is Israel and the U.S. at the same time. Genesis 16 and 12, and he, let me get this, 16 and 11, and the angel of Yahweh said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael. Those uh, Saudi Arabians, because Yahweh have heard thy affliction, and he will be a what? He will be a wild man, you know, and they all about money. So just all about themselves, and they crazy as hell, man. But his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. You see that? So that's their country. They can be manipulated from either side, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Right there in the midst of Iran, and right there in the midst of those other Muslims, like Shia Muslim versus Sunni, but they're all Muslim and they're all brothers because a lot of those are Ishmaelites with different beliefs. And then you got Elam, and then you got Esau with the U.S. and Israel, and uh, Saudi Arabia is caught in the middle. You know,
If this war goes sideways and Trump is forced to use ground troops, he will probably get approval from Congress, and this will give him emergency war powers, which will allow him to influence the midterms. So Trump is thinking about a third term, and I think at the ballot box, he probably
yeah, he kept saying that. He said if a war breaks out, he'll be able to stay in power. And he was like, I like that idea. He said, Did you hear that? Did you hear that? If a war breaks out, I'll stay in power. Something to think about. I remember him saying that. And it looks like it's going in that direction.
won't get it. But if there's a war going on and you can delay elections and you have emergency war powers and people rally around the flag, then he probably will get a third term.
Keep him as a dictator.
And the last factor that is
This is the one I wanted to show right here. Check this out.
very important is the eschatological factor, where if you look at the Epstein files, it's clear that we are run by secret societies. It's clear that the world is run by these individuals who have a lot of power. We don't know who they are, but they control the military. They control the national security apparatus. And these people, there are different names for these people. You can call them the Illuminati. And the Illuminati are composed of three major groups. Okay, you have the Jesuits, who control the Vatican. You have the Sephardim Frankists, which control the modern state of Israel today. You have the Freemasons, which control the national security apparatus of the United States. And they believe that Israel, this war in the Middle East, is key to the end times in creating heaven on earth. So it's almost like a script that they're following.
See, you've been hearing that lately, that they're pushing this script that they're following, and they believe they're bringing back the Messiah, right? When then they're bringing a ass whooping to themselves. This is Psalm 64:2. Hide me, my family go here. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, is the Illuminati, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, all these policies and lies. And the scriptures say the this little horn, the US Babylon, is basically doing the bidding of the dragon. All right. Now well, one second, I'll get one more. All right, let me continue. It says, verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, all right, depopulation. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. World War III, New World Order, Satan, satanic um, government. They commune of laying snares privily They say, "Who shall see them?" Secret societies, right? They search out iniquities, planning nothing but wickedness. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. Man, right? Is it so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves? So, so they're the ones behind the scenes controlling everything. And it's ultimately going to bring destruction to Europe and their whole empire, all their plans, right? So let's go back to this video. So yeah, this dude here, man, he said it clearly. And we've been saying it for years. The Illuminati running
even
things.
though it doesn't make any geopolitical sense. Okay, so I would say that these three are there are different names for these people. You can call them Illuminati, and the Illuminati are composed of three major groups. Okay, you have the Jesuits who control the Vatican. You have the Sephardim Frankists, which control the modern state of Israel today. You have the Freemasons, which control the national security apparatus of the United States. And they believe that Israel, this war in the Middle East, is key to the end times in creating heaven on earth. So it's almost like a script that they're following, even though it doesn't make any geopolitical sense. Okay, so I would say that these three are the best reasons why this is happening.
Wow. Well, sir, I hope you come back. This was very.
Mm. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna read this. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. We're not ignorant that they're the hidden hand that's running everything. Financing both sides of the war, just like they've always done. And going back to the old Albert Pike plan, let me read that real quick. This is all planned out, and the president is just a puppet. Let me see, WW3. If I could just read it straight. Let me see. So like I'm just pulling it up. All right, so let's read. So they've been all these wars were planned. Right? If you read the first one, Second World War, and now they're going by this script. See, the Most High controlling them. It says here, the Lord using Satan to control them, and Satan deceiving them too. The spiritual demon Satan is deceiving Esau. The spiritual demon Satan works for the Most High on the left hand side. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences. So they're taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentures, the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists. All right, you got the religious Zionists and the political over there. That political Zionist is Netanyahu and them. They're starting the wars. And the leaders of the Islamic world. Who's the leaders of the Islamic world? Saudi Arabia and Iran, mostly Iran, that controls the Middle East. So the differences between these two factions is being exploited by the Illuminati, right? Secret societies. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and the political Zionists, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Aren't we seeing that? Which is going to lead to the what? The closing of the Strait of Hormuz, which is instantly going to lead to the destruction of the U.S. economy. All right, it's going to cause nuclear war to happen. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, right? The other nations that are divided, choosing what side they're going to be on, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete and physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. So this is going to be a war that lasts way more than 4 weeks and 5 weeks, like they're saying. It's not going to go according to plan. And the U.S. is already running out of munitions and ammunition in defense over there. They spent almost. They already lost like 2 billion in machinery already, just in 4 days. So this is going to cause their back to be against the wall, and Israel may go nuclear, and then draw them out to a nuclear war. It says what we shall unleash the nihilists and atheists. So at that time, we're in that time where we should see. Um, you said the nihilists. Let me get this word nihilist. All right, so we gotta see. We gotta keep our eyes open, man. We're gonna see people popping up real soon. Nihilists adhere to the philosophical belief that life is without objective meaning, purpose, or intrinsic value. Right. So key beliefs include the rejection of the absolute truth. So that's why we're seeing all these people on the news, all over social media. They're going to do a smear campaign and start lying on both sides. All right, and that deny the truth. And the atheists, people that don't believe in the Lord, and they most likely gonna come against us, like to stop us from telling the truth of what's happening. And, to block people from hearing the truth. And we shall provoke a formidable societal cataclysm. All right, so world economic crash, especially with the U.S., which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, not believing in God, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. So that's what's coming. That's what's coming, man. And a lot of people aren't prepared for what's coming. All right, especially a lot of these women, their mindset is not right now, man. Um, you getting prepared for the war that's coming and survival. They getting prepared for the next time you're gonna go out, and you know what I'm saying. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, because you got this illusion of Christianity, because they're gonna find out that everything they've been believing is a lie, right? Thinking the Lord is an Edomite, thinking you can do whatever you want, um, thinking that the Lord gonna protect them, even though doing what they want. You come as you are. They thinking that World War III is not gonna happen, so they're gonna lose faith. Whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction. Damn, they're gonna be stuck out there. All these people, man, that don't know Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they ain't gonna have no direction. All right, and those Satanists, they gonna have a direction. They know who they following. They like they believe in the devil, and they gonna die with they're gonna be destroyed with the you know what I mean. You got to choose a side. Basically, you're gonna be put on a side, and we choose Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the righteous. It says, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the fake light through the universal manifestation of the false doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. It's about to happen, man. All right. And we warned everybody. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Now let's see if this plays out. All right, because we know this is a backdoor agenda by the agents of the Illuminati. All right, let me get one more. All right, so let's listen to this last part one more time, where he names the three factions of the Illuminati that's running this whole thing right now.
Factor that is very important. It's an eschatological factor where, if you look at the Epstein files, it's clear.
He said the Epstein files. There you go. Man, yo, hold on. Let me get this real quick, man. Let's get this real fast, y'all. See? There you go. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. See, they've been already working behind the scenes. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Right? So they gotta be taken out of the way. And that's what this is all leading up to. And then shall that wicked be revealed. So they're being revealed who the wicked is. Those Satanists, Illuminati, remember the Edomites. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. See, their whole battle is against the truth. They want to hide the truth from everybody. The father of lies, right? That's why this is really a spiritual battle. He said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness that rule, basically that rule in the high places. All right. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, with the truth. That's what we're doing. He sent us first to consume their lives with the truth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So he's gonna back up everything we're saying, and he's gonna bring everything they hide in the dark to light. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan. That's what they're doing. They're doing the work of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness. So they're pushing all they can to deceive, man, through their agents and everything. Of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. So since you ain't want to believe the truth, the Lord gonna have you believe what they doing, those lies. That's gonna lead you to destruction. That they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. You gotta remember that a lot of 2/3 of our people had pleasure in the satanic shit that was being pushed during the Biden administration, Obama, Hillary Clinton, et cetera, et cetera. And now they're going to have to pay for that. The Lord going to say, stay over there to the left with the goats.
That we are run by secret societies. It's clear that the world is run by these individuals who have a lot of power. We don't know who they are, but they control the military. They control the national security apparatus. And these people, there are different names for these people. You can call them the Illuminati. And the Illuminati are composed of three major groups. Okay, you have the Jesuits, who control the Vatican. You have the Sephardim Frankists, which control the modern state of Israel today.
Mm-hmm. And right, he said the Frankists, right? He said, well, I'm gonna play that again. I missed one. Oh, he said the Vatican, right? The Jesuits. And he said the Frankists. Let me look these up too. Jesuits, Frankists, and then I think he's gonna say the Freemasons. Let me see. I'm trying to see what he said. The Frankists. All right. That's deep, man. So anyway, I just wanted to see so I could look it up later. But so he's naming three, and the religious one with the Pope, and the Vatican, the Jesuits, which are really bankers. That's what it does, and people understand what that's what the G in the Masonic G originally stands for is the Jesuits. Um, what they say Jesuits. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Um, there you go. And then he said what Israel, which is controlling their. That's what the religious, banking, and military.
You have the Freemasons, which control the national security apparatus of the United States.
See, the national security, which is like the military and such. So the banking, which is those Israelis, they run the banks. Uh, um, and you have the Jesuits, which is the false prophet, and then you have with the Pope, and then you have the military, national security, the Masons. Revelations 12 and 6. No, Salakia. Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs, right? I mean, like frogs are toxic. Come out of the mouth of the dragon, right? They leaped out, right? Came from the politics of Europe, right? Especially the European Union, and out of the mouth of the beast, right? The which was like NATO and national security. Okay, so you had the banking right there, and then you have the military, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, the Jesuits, which is the popes, all right, the Roman Catholic Church. It's right there in the scriptures, man. And what it say they're gonna do? Uh, so like I clicked the wrong one. Damn it. Let me go back. There you go. And it says what? For they are the spirits of devils, man. The agencies of devils that was established and spoken to power by devils, deceivers, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of the Almighty, Yahweh Almighty. They're moving according to a script, man. The script is the Bible. All right. And they know they're on the left hand side and they're doing the most high's will so they can get destroyed. They're trying to push their own will, but it's the most high that controls the heart of men. All right. So yeah, man, they're set up to lead all these nations into war. World War III, the whole world, the great battle of the great day of the Lord Almighty. So they're set up to go against the Most High, according to Revelations 12. They're gonna try to fight against them, and they're gonna realize that it's a so-called black man, not an Edomite.
And they believe that Israel, this war in the Middle East, is key to the end times in creating heaven on earth. So it's almost like a script that they're following, even though it doesn't make any geopolitical sense. Okay, so I would say that these three are the best reasons why this is happening.
Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? And that goes into Edom, especially Illuminati, and also the U.S. Because everything that was established here, like I just read from the dragon, all right, from that Masonic establishment. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, man? And they used America to weaken all the nations. And now the nations are saying they're strong. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, all right, to rule over us, the children of Israel, here in the U.S. And now the U.S. Babylon has become their downfall. And they said that I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. They try to rule in secret. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right, all the way down to the damn pit, into bondage, into captivity. So yeah, man, this is it. I believe a lot of brothers believe that this is it, man. This is the string that's going to lead to um well, Armageddon's already happening. Um, but it's going to go nuclear, and that nuclear is going to turn into World War III. It's already a mini, small version of that called the regional war. All right, and Ezekiel 38 is really talking about a regional war that's going to lead to a world war. All right, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.